What is up, everybody? Welcome to Down and Down, a rabbit hole podcast. My name is Buck.
I'm Jack. That intro, I'm sorry. I lost it immediately. What is up?
So, I'm off. I'm off. I'm all rattled now. Making fun of my intros. It's not nice. I didn't make fun of your intro.
Mine was pretty bland.
You said it, not me. Anyway, before we really get into the thick of
Into the thick of it.
here in our little burrow, well, Jack's burrow. I'm visiting.
If
Um,
we are wrong, we will say that we're wrong.
right. And we discovered that we do need to make a bit of an amendment. Jack did some research. And what did you find?
So Ouija board wasn't originally just meant to be like a board game. It was a parlor game, but not necessarily for kids. It would have been a parlor game in the same way that they would have tried to tell the future using cards or things like that. And so it was a parlor game. It was always meant to be a parlor game, but it was always meant to be more. The guy who created it, there was another quote unquote talking board that was real popular going around, and he ended up making his and having it patented before that one could, which is kind of a crappy move if you ask me. But it was based off of the idea of spirit writing, which kind of is back in like 1100 China. There was a thing that it kind of started there. But if you check movies like Insidious and the others, there are versions of spirit writing where you have like there might be like a seance or something where they're trying to connect to spirits, and you have the psychic, the medium, sitting there scribbling the words or telling someone, and they're scribbling the words for them. And this was a way for like everybody to be able to try to speak to spirits. So it does kind of have a tie with some occultism or occult acts.
Or some sort of pagan.
Right, some pagan, even though now it is sold as like a board game
Yeah.
for children, but it did kind of have some inspiration and pull for all of that.
So I want to clarify something just because I think that this amendment may lean into, does Buck change his perspective on this? And the answer is no. In short, I still think that you can't accidentally perform some sort of pagan or occultish ritual. I don't think it's possible. Really, what it comes down to is, are you sinning? And I don't believe you are. If you do somehow find yourself where you went through this with your friends, you're pressured into it or whatever, or you just did it and didn't think about it, and then later on you're worrying about it, I don't think that you have anything to worry about if you did not actually intend to reach out to the demonic or ghosts or the dead or whatever. Now, you do have the power to say no. Remember that. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. But also, let me put the caveat on there that if you are intentionally reaching out and trying to speak with the dead or beseech dark powers for gain or whatever, you are doing something evil. I've said that from the beginning. But I agree with Jack. It's not wise to do no matter what. But if you do find yourself having done it, don't beat yourself up about it. If you are a believer in Christ, Christ is so much stronger than anything that you could ever do. He died once and for all of your sins. And Christ is far greater than any dark power. So if you did do this and people are saying, oh, you opened doors and now you're getting attacked by demons, Christ is stronger than demons 100% of the time, every time, forever, now, and always.
But that's not the rabbit hole we're on today.
Today, we are heading back to the 90s,
Yeah,
which is my childhood and Jack's childhood.
that's right.
And we're going to talk about something that is adjacent to something that was very popular.
Yep.
We're not going to
Yeah.
actually talk about that thing. And maybe for a second we'll talk about it, but we are going to talk about
Oh, sorry.
Power
You wanted me to do Power Rangers. We got to get better.
we're going to talk about Power Rangers knockoffs,
Yeah.
not Power Rangers themselves.
So since we're going back to the 90s, y'all grab your Dunkaroos and your Squeeze-Its and meet us back here in just a moment as we dive down this rabbit hole.
Down and down the rabbit hole. Just how deep does it go? Where it stops, nobody knows. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole.
So, I was a huge Power Rangers fan.
Yeah.
You,
It was our generation.
yeah, but you weren't like the biggest fan in the world.
I mean, I watched it and I had some toys, but I wasn't as big on it as you were. No, not at the time.
I would get my mom to actually like get me Power Rangers for Christmas, and which meant at the time Santa Claus, because I think I still believed in Santa Claus at that time. Um, but yeah, I one of my guilty pleasures, and you'll be like, "Oh, it's not really a guilty pleasure. Everybody knows it." But one of my guilty pleasures is I've always loved martial arts movies,
Yeah.
and I don't care how badly
About
acted they
saying
are.
horrible.
And it's funny because I'm generally extremely critical of movies that don't have good story or good acting, but I love martial arts movies, and I'm a sucker for a tournament trope. I love it, and I think that is I always was like that, and I think that is one reason I liked Power Rangers so much, because it was steeped in karate and kung fu and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Also, what you may or may not know, Jack and I are actually black belts.
we are. That's what I was about to say. We were both in martial arts.
Yeah. Jack is
I,
more advanced than me because he took it for longer.
I did. I was a third degree black belt,
I
and
was a
you
first
were.
degree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got my first degree black belt for my senior project in high school.
Oh.
Yeah, because I had stopped going for a little while and I started going back.
In fact, our when we were in college, our karate instructor um, also had a class teaching karate at our college.
That's true.
And I took the college, showed up the first day. He said, "You already know everything I'm going to teach you in this class. You've already earned your time with me. You don't have to worry about coming back."
I forgot about that.
And I think he gave me like a high B or a low A or something, just so it wouldn't look like, he was cheating. And he also, you know how you have to fill out the professor's
Yeah,
little things. He filled his own out for me.
that's great. That's hilarious. I totally forgot about that. Like totally forgot about that. So anyways, I was very drawn to it. I remember seeing the commercial for Power Rangers for the first time, and I was like, I'm gonna watch this. This looks amazing. Spandex and helmets. What more could I ask for? Um, and yep, I habitually watched it. If I could make it to Saturday morning cartoons on Fox, because I'm pretty sure it was on Fox, I would watch it and
It was.
pray for reruns. Pray for reruns. But that's not what we're talking about.
No. I
We're talking
mean,
about
we can talk about it a little bit because it was kind of what started the whole phenomena around it, right? And like we both had some of those little toys where their heads flipped.
oh yeah. I remember you got me one for my birthday one time.
And I had one at least. And you know what? I feel like just for nostalgia purposes, we should insert a commercial here.
Transforming action Power Rangers. This is Zordon. It's transforming time. Evil space aliens are approaching your location. Combine your weapons. It's your only hope. Karate action Power Rangers. Use your hand-to-hand fighting abilities. Protect the Earth from evil space aliens. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from Bandai. Grab the power.
Use your hand to hand.
Karate action.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's kind of why.
I had
Well,
all of these toys.
and I'll say this: we were coming off of like We also were during the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles time period. And
Kind of the
so,
tail end of it because that was more like an 80s cartoon.
yeah, it was in the 80s, but it went into the 90s.
And I think that's mainly because the movie came out in the 90s. And
Maybe. I
yeah.
remember watching it and even the cartoon early on, and the video games were out and all that stuff. Um, which is when I said one of my first curse words.
That's a fun story. Cut your head off, didn't it, Daddy? You gotta tell
Okay.
it. You gotta tell. You gotta
Okay.
tell it now.
Okay. So because the Ninja Turtles were big, this was my brother. My older brother had a an original Nintendo. This was before the Super Nintendo. He had the original
Was that?
Nintendo, and shut your face. My story. And so my dad was in there playing the Ninja Turtles game. I had been in the living room playing or watching the movie, and there's like one curse word I think
At
in
the
the
very
whole
beginning. At the very beginning. Of the movie.
in the whole movie. And I'm like 3 or something at this time. And I go in there and my dad's fighting some dude with a chainsaw and he dies. And he goes, "Oh man, he cut my head off." And I said, "He cut your damn head off, didn't he, Daddy?" And my daddy said, "What? What did you say?" And I got in big trouble for that. But
Yeah.
I just had a new word. I wanted them to hear
Yeah.
my new word. I was so proud of
Found
it.
out a new cool word. I just wanted to. I remember when you told me that story and you said it that way. I about died laughing. I just wanted to say the cool new word I found out. It's funny because that was one of my favorite movies as a kid, like at least at that age. And if you grew up in the 90s before streaming and all this stuff, there were these things called VCRs. I love that I'm explaining this.
There's this thing called
We would do what was called taping on these VCRs whenever we would like have something on TV or we'd rent a movie. We would essentially copy that VHS to another VHS so we could
yes,
watch it later and not have to actually purchase the
pay,
movie. As I look back on it, the ethics of that were
pirating.
yeah, it's a lot more questionable than I think I thought at the time. But I
But
never had the very beginning. I just had the part of the movie. It started right after they had saved April,
yeah,
and they're like saying like righteous and all that stuff. And then at the very end, Raphael goes, "Damn." And that was the very beginning of the movie for me. And and I think because I watched it so much, my parents were like, "You don't say that. You don't say that word." Um, but yeah, we had a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys. I remember Jack used to have this football that was made
I
out
still
of
have it.
Raphael.
My parents kept it, and when they were cleaning out that house, I got it, so I still have it. And I have that big Raphael. Ralph was my favorite. Raph was my favorite.
And for some
And
reason, I couldn't reconcile that because red wasn't your favorite color. And of
right,
course, the color of the headband of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle that was your
had to,
favorite was going to dictate what your favorite color was. So my favorite color was blue. I remember this conversation. Jack was like, "My favorite color is green." I'm like, "No, it's not. Raphael's your favorite." He's like, That doesn't matter." I was like, "Yes, of course it matters."
but what's funny is there's not a. They're all green. There's not one
Right.
that's a green.
It's true, but that was what made them unique. That and the weapons.
Except for when you go back and you look and they were all originally red.
Oh, that's sad.
You didn't realize
Yeah.
that
Well, I knew.
in the
No,
original comic, like way back,
I
they
think
were
I did know
all
that actually.
red. And then they all got colors.
We are
And
so off track.
Raph
A little
remained
too
red.
rough.
Raph. You can't call him Ralph. It's not
No, 'cause
Ralph.
it's not
with an L.
Raphael. Raphael.
It's Raphael.
Raph.
Which I had turtles growing up, like
Yeah.
actual
And the
pet
first one you
turtles.
had red on him,
Yeah, he had red like streaks
which
on him.
that was crazy, and his name was Raphael.
Raph, yep. And then I at one point had all four of them. Donatello was a box turtle, and he wouldn't eat, and he ended up dying, even though I tried really hard. The other, the other two were smaller than Raph, and eventually they all died. And it was
Well,
very,
in the comics, they all die except for Michelangelo.
well,
Anyways.
no,
Well, that's a what if story, but
Yeah.
anyways, but so we're so off track. So okay,
but
all
that was to say
all that to
that's,
set the stage for
we were a generation of we loved like combat and karate. I mean, we had double dragons and all that stuff too.
Double Dragons.
Yes. And so this was what our generation, the millennials, and there's like the zennials, those that were right kind of before us, Gen X going into the millennials. This was what we had, was what we grew up on. This was our stuff.
Right.
And so when the Power Rangers came around, it was a big deal. I remember I was like in first grade, and it was like a huge thing, and everybody was buying the toys. It was around the same time strangely that Barney the Purple Dinosaur came out, but we were too old for him.
Right, and everybody would make fun of Barney.
Right.
Like, I think it's funny because kids now will kind of be like, "Oh, Barney," and people will be like, "Oh, I loved Barney." I'm like, "You loved Barney."
That's why you're like, you can tell people's age too. Jill is always like, I watched all of the Barneys. Jill is my wife. And I'm always like,
And no, that's not her real name.
it's not. But I'm always like, of course you did, because you're 3.5 years younger than I am. Of course you watched Barney. But we were Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, X-Men, Spider-Man, Mighty Morphin
That's
Power
right.
Rangers,
You know, Batman
then
cartoon, the animated
Batman
series.
animated series. Superman animated series was a little bit after our time, but it was also really good too. But either way, so also then you had Tiny Toons, which was totally different, but same generation.
Yep.
Tiny Toons, Animaniacs.
Animaniacs.
Oh man, we're just talking about 90s shows now.
But
Anyways.
but this was our generation, and so this is the type of things that we like. And when you get into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, I mean, they shaped a generation, which is funny when you realize that they just ripped off another show from like Japan,
Yeah.
and just stole
Literally the the at least the original Power Rangers footage when they were actually Power Rangers was exact footage from that show, which wasn't called the Power Rangers, I don't think. I think it was called something else.
I mean, it would have been in Japanese, whatever it was.
But I don't think it in Japanese even was Power Rangers.
I don't think so either. Hold on.
I used to think it was, but then we looked it up or something like that. It's interesting because, and that's why Rita is Japanese.
Super Sentai.
Super Sentai. I think there was some pretty big story differences too.
Yeah, I mean, we had two girls, two also in ours, and that's why only the Pink Ranger wears a skirt.
Yeah, because in Super Sentai, only one girl was in it.
Yeah, and she was the pink. She was the Pink Ranger, and then the yellow one was a boy at that point.
But there's a lot of weird drama around Power Rangers in general. Like, if you grew up, you would have seen in the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers there was a cast change after about like season 2 or 3 where Jason, Zach, and Trini, yes, they all leave and they get replaced by Adam.
Don't ask me their names.
Aisha,
one's names,
and Rocky. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember. I cannot believe that I remember
Okay,
those names.
well now I didn't realize his name was Rocky, and all I want to say is Rocky loves Emily.
Emily. Oh,
Rocky loves
love that
Emily.
movie. I will still go back and watch that movie and enjoy it. That one actually had a pretty decent
Three
story.
Ninjas,
Yes.
which if y'all don't know,
And all that happened because the network was terribly underpaying the
Underpaying,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, terribly underpaying them. But anyways, so all that to set up, it inspired a whole plethora of other shows. Some I have never heard of. Some I actually tried to watch. I actually remember watching some at your house, Jack. But let's kind of start off with the like bigger ones that were clearly knockoffs. Tell me if you remember this.
But Professor, we don't even know what to do. How does all this stuff work?
You must know only 2 words. Trooper transform. Your special powers will guide you from there. Now go, VR troopers. Our world needs you.
Trooper transform! We are VR! Show me what you got, you mechanical monkey!
You're one of Grimlord's goons.
And your history, Ryan Steele!
Incredible.
Tell me what you got, you mechanical monkey. No, I actually, when as soon as that one started playing, I said, "Is this VR Troopers?" Which was probably the most successful, I think, of the.
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of them was remotely successful, but it was also kind of on the tail end of it all. We'll get to it. But so this one I always found funny. Like I watched it a little bit because I think it got some traction. No, I think it came out maybe like a season after Power Rangers did. And I always was like, man, this one just feels like it's missing something. But I realize as an adult what it is. They just were checking boxes, right? So there's only 3 of them as opposed to 5 at the beginning, and then eventually Power Rangers adds on an additional person whenever Tommy joins, which by far was the best Power Ranger out of all of them, by the way. There's no doubt about it, both as Green and White Ranger. So this one, 3 of them, they had the token white leader, who was a guy. They had a girl. It didn't matter what race she was, but then they had a black guy, and that checked all the boxes. But they also needed just somebody to be their like professor leader guy. So they had some dude named the Professor, who, as opposed to Zordon, who was this ethereal head in a tube, clearly like there was something like otherworldly about him.
Right.
This guy was just a dude on a TV.
Just a TV guy.
Just a dude on a TV. And I barely remember anything about the like the actual conflict.
Me either.
I think I gathered from the trailer that the villain was called Grimlord, which
original.
I mean, it is better than Rita Repulsa though.
Yeah.
Repulsa isn't bad, but Rita Repulsa is not great.
I never understood why Rita Repulsa's brother had a different last name, and also looked completely different. It was nothing
Yeah.
like her.
Yeah, Repulso.
Yeah, we made it a male version of
I had
her.
a Goldar toy one time,
You did.
and then Jack
Go
broke it.
ahead.
No,
Threw it across the room.
in Jack's defense, I had this toy for years, and we had put this thing through the ringer, and
They were
at one
fighting.
point they were fighting, and Jack threw it at me, and just his arm just broke off. Like we're not talking like it wasn't one of those toys that actually had like movable limbs and stuff. It was like they were fixed, and the arm just literally broke, like about like on the upper arm, not at the shoulder, but where his bicep would have been, no longer had anything below that. And I was sad. It was a sad day. End of an era. But did you ever
but-
watch VR Troopers?
I didn't watch it regularly. I remember it coming on. So I used to hang out a lot at this is going to sound weird. I used to hang out at the old lady behind me's house. There was an old lady who lived behind us, and she had a grandson who was like a year ahead of me in school, and we were really close friends. And I remember going over there and seeing it on and watching it a time or two there, but not ever getting into VR Troopers. I never really got into it.
I remember seeing a VR Troopers episode at your house. I do not remember why we were I don't think we were actually actively watching it.
We wouldn't,
It was just
because
on
I didn't
TV.
even. Yeah, I wouldn't
But
even
I
know
was
what
at
channel it
your
was on.
house, and VR Troopers was a little bit different in a few ways. On Power Rangers, they had Bulk and Skull, who were like these oafish bully type characters, and always tried to pick on them, but they didn't really succeed at it. But they were supposed to be kind of like more of like pig-headed bullies or whatever. In VR Troopers, they had a really like nerdy Steve Urkel-esque character who was kind of like science nerd, but always caused like a lot of chaos, and because he was klutzy and would do all this stuff. And I remember one episode that I watched, he had like this stereotypical red and white like horseshoe looking magnet,
Oh my goodness.
and they had just gotten like this really high powered computer, and the magnet was supposed to be so powerful that it drug him across the room and hit the computer. And apparently at the time, if a magnet touched computers, it could like destroy the computer. And that's one of the like only things about VR Troopers that I remember. And I remember I saw that at your house.
See, I don't remember that.
I don't think you were even watching it. I don't even remember what you were doing.
There's no telling. But yeah, this is a like we played. We would buy these toys and play with them stuff, and so we did. We put our toys through a lot of distress. And we both had at least one of, I think you might have had two of the motorcycle versions of, like when they had like shark motorcycles, the Power Rangers. You remember that?
Oh, the Hammerhead motorcycles?
Yeah,
I had the red one.
not all of them were Hammerhead because
Oh, I had the Hammerhead red one.
yeah, and the yellow one was like a sawfish or something.
That's right. God, that was so dumb.
And but yeah, so we had those things, but so when we saw these other shows, we'd kind of get excited to see what they
Yep.
were about.
Yep.
But they were never as good. They were not quite the same. They either lacked in like the story or something. They just didn't have quite the gravitas, I guess. Something
There
that,
were some things that I feel like inspired, but I don't think they were totally knockoffs, but I think
Sure.
they took inspiration. I'm sure you remember this. It was Biker Mice from Mars. You had a toy or something like
Biker Mice
that.
from Mars were more, I think, inspired by the Ninja Turtles.
I think it might have been a bit of a mix because they came after Power Rangers.
But the reason I say is because there was a time, and this might be its own show when we talk about like Ninja Turtle knockoffs.
Yeah.
But you had Biker Mice from Mars. You had the real cowboys of something. They were all bulls. You
the
had
shark-
you
the
had the
shark
shark Street
cartoon.
Sharks or whatever. And there were some others in there too, and they were all these animals that like fought or something, and so I think that's usually it's usually thought that they are more knockoffs of your Ninja Turtles versus, but it could have been inspired by a little bit of both. I don't know.
Which there may have been some inspiration from Ninja Turtles for Power Rangers in a lot of ways, like a group of teenagers kind of taking on all of these monster-esque type creatures,
Yeah,
but all these monster-esque type creatures, yet the real villain just looked like a normal person. uh, with
mastermind behind it
a
all.
crazy costume. One thing I think bothered me about VR Troopers was they all looked so different from each other.
yeah.
Like
They
there was
didn't
no
look
uniformity
congruent,
at
yeah.
all. However, I liked the way the leader guy looked. And I think it's because like his costume, obviously. I mean, sure, maybe he was an attractive guy. I don't remember. His costume kind of looked more like an actual face
Yeah, had a
Yeah.
almost robotic. They look
Yeah.
to me more like robots than anything.
Which I think they were supposed to because of the whole
Sure.
VR thing. But so, and I cannot remember. I feel like this, look, you'll have to look this up for me whenever we get there. But there was another show that lasted for maybe like a season or two. And I feel like it came from VR Troopers. I think it started in VR Troopers, but I might be wrong. And it was this one right here. And oh my God, I never could get into this one.
On a distant and embattled planet called Edenoi, a young prince named Dex is given great powers by his grandfather, the king, and is sent to the planet Earth to protect it from the advancing evil of Count Dragon and his vicious insectoids. Once on Earth, he is adopted by a kind family and learns to live as a human. With his companion Phoebus by his side, Dex is ever vigilant, ready at a moment's notice to call on his powers to become Masked Rider.
Was Mask Rider, was it a spinoff from Power Rangers or VR
Power
Troopers?
Rangers
It was from Power Rangers. God, I can't believe that.
from the third season.
I knew he showed up in somebody else's season first. And I remember when he showed up, I was like, this is dumb. Like, why would we have
almost
a,
like a
a
backdoor
bug a
pilot, I
bug
wonder.
superhero?
I'm
Oh,
wondering
it
if
was.
Like,
It
I wonder if
was.
that was the intent, though. I'm guessing it was, but who knows?
But yeah, like the Phoebus or whatever his name was, what the little alien puppet creature. It was so bad,
I don't even
so
remember that
bad.
much about it. I had forgotten until you started playing, and I was like, oh yeah.
The only reason I kind of remember this TV show was because the guy who acted him, the guy who played the Masked Rider, he was in a couple of martial arts movies that I would watch growing up. And I guess he had a little bit of like success, but they were never like super popular movies. I don't think they like even made it to theaters. But there was a movie called A Dangerous Place. He was the main character in it, and he was like like a young teenager, like 15, maybe 14 years old. And he takes karate at this school, but his brother decides to start taking karate at like a rival school, and they're like the popular kids. Whoever said that whoever would think that a karate school would be the popular kids, that's not real. They were the ones that got made fun of.
Yeah.
Especially in the 90s. But and Corey Feldman, like Mouth from the Goonies,
Yeah.
the villain of the movie. The villain of the movie. And essentially like the karate school that his brother had gone to, they're like a front for like
And what was the name of this movie?
a dangerous place.
A Dangerous
It was also
Place.
rated R.
Oh, scandal.
I know. I know it. I don't think there was a single cuss word in the movie. I don't know why it was rated R. But
Rated
so,
R for really bad.
yeah, it was really bad. I went back and watched it maybe earlier this year, and it's really bad. And it all culminates at a tournament.
Oh,
Of course it does. And then there was one other movie called
You
The
went to a
Power
tournament
Within.
trope.
There's one other movie called The Power Within. And he gets some sort of magical power from this like ancient kung fu man.
Oh no.
and,
Oh my gosh.
and then what's his name? The guy that played Johnny in The Karate Kid is the villain of the movie. And it's even worse. And The guy that plays Johnny from The Karate Kid is actually a good actor. He was not in this movie. Like if you go watch Cobra Kai now, Cobra Kai is great. What's his name? William Zabka. He's great in Cobra Kai, and he was like over the top villainous in this movie, and it did not work. I remember in the final fight, the way he kind of like amps himself up to get ready to fight the main character. He just does like a spinning roundhouse kick just for no reason.
Oh, yeah. That sounds about like every other movie of that time when they just do random moves
Yep.
and it wouldn't even hit anybody. Just like, look what I can
kicked
do.
in the air. But
I don't know why your description of that made me think of Warriors of Virtue. And
oh no. I also watched this not that long ago. It's so bad. What? So bad. Like, for one, who was like, hey, kangaroos, kung fu? Yeah, let's do this. Let's put kung fu kangaroos in a movie.
which are really people in really bad costumes.
And let's also base the whole movie around a little kid who is crippled and can't walk very well. And then he gets sucked into this other world, which at the time we didn't know it was called this, but now they call them isekais, apparently. And in this magic world, he can walk. But there's all these kung fu kangaroos. And at the end of the thing, he's back in the real world and can't walk again.
Oh, it didn't. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
crippled kids. You need somebody to relate to. Well, here he is, but he's going to be able to walk.
The whole movie. But don't worry, he's not going to stay that way. He'll be crippled again until the sequel, which did happen. And he absolutely, for some reason, when he came back, he took the magic from that world where the Warriors of Virtue were. And over time, he could walk again. And then he found himself back in the world. And the kangaroos had evolved into humans.
So it's nothing like the original.
Nope.
Is it even the same actor?
No, not nobody. Nobody is from the original movie is in that movie. I don't think.
So
And
that's got to be
it's
one
so
of the
bad.
worst sequels ever.
It's so bad that it looks like. Do you remember the movie the show Young Hercules?
Yeah.
Like it looked like a long episode of that as far as like production value goes. As a matter of fact, the guy that plays Ares in Young Hercules was the villain of the movie.
Really?
And yeah, don't ask me why I remember that.
Wasn't Ryan Gosling in Young Hercules?
Young Hercules, yep. That is a deep cut right there.
He was Hercules, wasn't he?
Yep, he was Hercules.
I remember it being a show, but I never really watched it a whole lot. But I mean, and you may have this on your list that you kind of want to discuss. But since we're kind of hitting into this mythical Young Hercules, whatever, there was a knockoff Power Rangers that was kind of in that, and it was what, the Mystic Knights of Tirnanog, which was very like what, Celtic-y, very Irish.
I'll play the trailer. This is an episode of seeing trailers.
Why does it feel like that theme song kind of ripped off Lion King a little bit?
I can see what you're saying. I don't know how, but I see what you're saying. Like, we're going to rip off Hans Zimmer, but we're going to make it
Celtic.
Scottish feeling. Um, okay. I never saw this. I don't even know what network this was on.
I don't either.
I've never seen an episode. When we kind of brought this up, I watched the first few minutes of the first episode, and I will tell you the truth. I feel like this one had potential
Yeah,
because it was so different.
I feel like they might have needed better costuming or something.
Better costume. I think the general setup of like mystical superheroes was kind of an interesting thing for like a medieval type approach to a show, and that would have been cool. But
Wait, wait. Sorry, I think I just had a memory. One of these guys was blue, and he had like horns. And did he have like a trident that like shot lightning or something?
hang on, and I'll see, because one of them was blue. He does have a trident. Yep, the one black guy in the whole thing. He actually also has the coolest costume.
I don't really remember watching this a whole lot, but I remember him. I remember there being this dude with a trident that could, and I believe he could like shoot lightning from his trident. And for some reason, that was always really cool to me. And I thought, oh, who knows? In our games, I probably did something that kind of replicated that in some kind of way. And maybe that's what inspired my like love of like atmokinesis powers and stuff when we were kids.
What Jack means by our games is we made believe quite a lot as kids. Like,
now, a lot of kids, I mean, kids do. But we had two versions. We had little people, which meant toys, action figures, and we had big people,
which meant make believe.
Which meant make believe. We went out there and we jumped around and fought, and sometimes we fight each other, and sometimes we fought with each other, like fighting some invisible baddie.
And one thing, in all of these scenarios, we would have toys that we got that came from something that we would almost never use as the characters or whatever that they were created to be. I remember we used to have these Captain Planet toys. And
that's a whole other
Captain Planet. Yeah. But we had these toys, and we would use these toys as all these different characters in all these little people games, toy games, and they would not be the Planeteers. They were just, and I think that's how you should have done it. That was the superior way to play with toys.
It was. Why would you play with it the way that it was just meant to be? Because that's boring. Create your own stories, and your own characters. In fact, Guy, who we called Guy from the Planeteers, was a lot of times Jill Valentine's younger sister. And Jill Valentine is from Resident Evil,
which we had not played at that point.
I have actually. Times. I think
you played Resident Evil a little.
I played Resident Evil. I know maybe it was right after that, but I remember getting into Resident Evil, but anyway, that was a whole other thing. But
you're way too young to be playing that game.
Yeah.
But so yeah. My biggest qualm with Mystic Knights of Tir Nanog is Tir Nanog.
The name?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
Who knows? But I think they try to go a little too tropey. They try to go a little bit too campy, because like in the trailer it shows them in their like Mystic Knight stuff, and it looks like it's just armor, which I think is actually a cool take on.
Sorry. Tir na Nog is Irish mythology, and it means land of youth, but it is an actual thing in Irish mythology.
Oh, sorry, Irish mythology. It still sounds funny. Um, but I hope I'm not being offensive, but it
They're
does
the
sound funny.
Mystic Knights. I would agree though. It doesn't like I can now knowing that, but grow there was no way for us to know that back then, so it didn't really hold the weight. But it definitely did. I feel like have a lot of potential to be something. It didn't step out of the shadow of the Power Rangers, and I think maybe the problem was it was a little. Maybe they were trying to be too similar to it because I think they could have diverged in another direction and been really cool and stood on their own 2 feet.
Yeah. Again, I just think it was they tried to go too campy, too tropey, and you can tell that just by the the trailer, the intro, and just a few minutes into the actual episodes, which I actually kind of want to go and watch the episodes to see if it ever gets pretty
Better.
good. But yeah, so that that's that's one that kind of was around the same time. But however, there was one that kind of came along a little later on the tail end of the success of Power Rangers. And I'm thinking like it's even on the part of Power Rangers where they're no longer Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mhm.
They've kind of gone into like Power Rangers Zeo and Turbo. I think
Yeah.
Turbo was the first real departure, and then Power
I was not
Rangers in
around for any
space.
of those. I didn't hang in for all of those.
I think I got to Power Rangers in space, and but there this is the one. And also, I'm gonna say the song for this is a bit of a banger.
Three typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, Rita goes to meet the Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Hey, look now, they're superheroes armed with superpowers. Taken from a comic strip, and now they're Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs.
Oh, big bad Beetleborgs. I was waiting for that one to pop up.
Yep, that one was kind of like on the tail end of it all. I think
They had like this Liberace vampire
yeah,
ghost or
Liberace
something.
vampire, and then like I guess he was a genie that looked like Jay Leno with a white face.
Oh no, that's the Liberace one I'm thinking of. Well, so I don't know. Is he a genie or is he a ghost? What is he?
He's the one that grants them the wish to be able to become the
Yeah,
Beetleborg.
he looks like he does look like Jay Leno,
He
but
does. Yeah,
he looks
you're right. He
like
does look like
Liberace.
Liberace too. Maybe it's supposed to be a big mixture of it all. But
I can't. I remember there being like like but they had other monsters in there too.
his name was Flabber, by the way.
Uh, he was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I think maybe look that up. I want to feel like he was maybe supposed to be like a ghost or something, or maybe was he a genie? Is that what it said?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure like he does magic.
But they had like was there like a mummy
There was
or
a mummy, there was a Frankenstein, a
yeah.
werewolf.
Okay, yeah, there was all like the typical why that was put into these kids that were really just little kids and then they turned into like teenage size or adult size.
He's a phantasm,
So he was a
kind of like a ghost.
yeah.
But he was a phantasm from the seventh dimension and resides in Hillhurst, which is the haunted house. So I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, they were all orphans. I think they were all orphans.
I didn't remember that
And
much.
if I might be wrong, but maybe they were just all friends. But there was one like adult in the show, and it was I can't remember his name. It was the Green Beetleborg, and it was his aunt or something like that. And she was a bit of a comic relief, but also like responsible in a lot of ways too. But I think the thing that was interesting about Big Bad Beetleborgs was that it didn't really try to be Power Rangers. Like they had their own setup. The only thing that was even remotely close was just the
Costuming and stuff.
superhero costumes.
Yeah.
And so they were comic book fan characters, and their favorite comic book heroes were the Big Bad Beetleborgs. And they go into the Hillhurst haunted house. That was a tongue twister. And they come across all the ghouls and everything. And I don't remember why. I think Flabber was trapped in something in the house, and they let him out,
Let 'em out.
and he rewards them for letting him out. And they wish to become the Beetleborgs. And I don't know why I remember this name. I do not remember any other name in the thing except for Flabber. But I do remember this. The comic book creator for Big Bad Beetleborgs' name was Art Fortunes.
Um,
I don't know why I remember that.
well,
And
the vampire's name was Count Fangula. So
oh yeah, that's great. I didn't say everything about this was a success.
no, but it was one of the bigger ones, I think.
Yeah, and it
During the
lasted for a
time.
few seasons. I think they ended up. So the creator of Big Bad Beetleborgs, the comic, ended up creating another Beetleborg, and eventually they got another friend, and they got a fourth Beetleborg. And I think he was supposed to be like the most powerful of them all. And but I don't even know how this show ended. I don't even know if it got like a proper send off, or if it just
Okay,
fizzled out. Or
this is me looking it up on Wikipedia. In the fictional town of Charterville, three kids, Andrew Drew McCormick, his younger sister Josephine Joe McCormick, and their best friend Roland Williams, enter the haunted Hillhurst mansion after accepting a dare from two rich bullies, Van and Trip. They discover that the mansion is inhabited by actual monsters who intend to eat them. In the midst of a chase, the kids accidentally bump into a pipe organ, releasing a phasm named
Phasm or
Flabber.
Phantasm?
It says phasm right
Ooh,
here,
that sounds a little worse.
which just means ghost. That's just a word for ghost.
Phasm.
Like a phantom, I guess. But that's what this says. It could have been phantasm. They probably called it that.
I feel like he's Peeves
Phanta-
from Harry Potter. I
Phanfabulous.
feel like he's related to him. He's his American cousin.
Who's?
Peeves from Harry Potter. He's the poltergeist in Hogwarts.
Oh, I heard you say Harry Potter. I didn't hear who's.
Did you play Hogwarts Legacy yet?
Yeah, I played it.
Like,
I haven't
he's in
played all
it.
the way through. I haven't,
He's
but I
very
played it.
similarly dressed to this, like all the flamboyant colors and stuff like that.
Yeah, this was a show, and I remember watching it. This is one of the ones I actually remember watching it some. Never got into it quite as much as I did as the other as Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I did watch this one a few times.
Yep. So the thing about all of these was they were Saturday morning kids TV show like series or whatever. But they would always play on after school television reruns. And that's how we would catch up with all these things. And I remember I would go over to my grandparents' house, and whenever this started coming on, it would be playing at like 4 o'clock. And I'd be like, okay, I'll watch it because it's on TV. So I watched it quite a lot. But yeah, it was never as good. When I was watching it, it felt like, oh, this is Power Rangers for younger kids, is what it felt like to me. But maybe it was because I was already getting like older at the time. 'Cause I was probably like 10, 11 by this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad
Ugh.
was one like I think I got it confused with VR Troopers a lot because but there was only one, and I think that I think that in my head I thought that it was the same show, but they only had one now.
Okay, let's look at it really quick.
The evil Kilo Khan lives inside computer circuits. With the help of Malcolm Brink, he creates megavirus monsters to attack electronic systems. Meanwhile, a freak accident turns Sam Collins into Servo. His friends join forces in their Samurai's attack vehicles. Together they transform into the Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Superhuman Samurai. Superhuman Samurai. They're gonna amp it up. Chicks of gigabutt. They're gonna rip it up. Our hero always makes the cut. Superhuman Samurai. Superhuman Samurai.
Wait a freaking minute.
So did three people become one?
That's not even what I'm hung up on, dude.
Is it Matthew Lawrence being in it?
Matthew Lawrence is in this, and
Matthew
Tim
Lawrence.
Curry voices somebody in this
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. Matthew
What?
Lawrence is in it. And if y'all don't know, Matthew Lawrence is one of the Lawrence brothers. His brothers, Joey and Andrew, they're all famous. They used to have a show on together that was Brotherly Love. Of course, everybody knows who Joey Lawrence is, I think. But yeah, Matthew Lawrence was really big a little bit later than that with
Boy Meets World.
he was in Boy Meets World, and then he was in some movies and everything.
Yeah,
too.
he
That
was in The
really
Hot
big.
Chick.
The Hot Chick is the one I was thinking of, but I couldn't think of the name of it. Yeah, so he was in. He was really big at one point, and yeah, he was in this. But
I'm more surprised by Tim Curry.
Tim Curry's been in everything.
Yeah, but this I didn't even.
There
I've
was
never even heard of this.
Some strange, sucky stuff that I realized that Tim Curry had a part of, and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize that he would drift. Like you would be like, oh, he's a top name, but then he would be over here some crazy stuff.
The crazy thing is Tim Curry was the first like cast for Joker in animated Batman series.
Really?
Yeah, they cast him for it.
You know,
And
he talked on the Wild Thornberries. He talked the father.
Yeah, I think I did
Nigel.
know that. But yeah, he originally was the voice of Joker, but they decided that it just didn't work, and then they cast Mark Hamill as Joker, and he was also the voice of Hexus in Fern Gully. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah. Fern Gully was one of those. Everybody had a crush on. What was the girl's name?
who remembers? Nobody
Fairy.
remembers.
But everybody thought she was so cute back then. Little fairy flying around.
But I don't remember the show at all.
And see, I think I thought really thought that it was like a spin-off or a continuation or something to do with VR Troopers, because you see how similar like the costume looks to that style. I don't think I realized that there were three people in one body.
Yeah, and that's weird.
It is weird.
Um,
Also, Rob Paulson was he did something with it. He was probably voices or something. But if you don't know who that is, he's did a lot of voices in like the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain and all of that.
Yeah. Okay. So that one's not even as bad as this next one.
Wait, is this last one going to be the last one?
I think it is. Do you have
Let's-
another one?
No. I don't want us to go into any of these. I think we should do some before we get. I think we should talk about some of, just like mention some of these other ones that were that came out before we hit on this one.
Okay.
Because there were a lot there were really a lot. Like you had Akabar Ranger, which was apparently a show. I don't know when that was. There was like the Los
Yeah,
Luchadores,
luchadores. Yeah,
which was
Sport Ranger.
I don't. There's nothing Hispanic about them. They all look very white.
They're just supposed to be like look like superhero
Luchadors,
wrestlers.
yeah. The girl has like hearts on her eyes. The one of them has like spiky hair, but he kind of looks like a Flash knockoff. And then one's got a goat or something. I don't know. There was vampires, like van, like you drive pyres. I'm not exactly sure what that was about. I had never even heard of that one or seen that before. There was Squadron Sport Ranger, Mini Force. We've already hit on the Mass Rider, but then there was like Kamen Rider or Kamen Rider with Dragon Knight, and I think that was maybe a spinoff of that. There was not a shortage. Voltron was a thing, but I think it might have been even before.
Voltron predated it. Yeah,
I was about to say it was even before that.
I think Power Rangers may have actually taken inspiration from Voltron.
From that, and I'm thinking that could have been probably true as well.
Vampires, that's Mummies Alive. You remember that?
No, I saw the image and I was like, that image looks very familiar, but could not put my finger on it. Like I was like, I don't know that I ever watched it, but I think I've seen like, I don't know, when they would advertise it or whatever. I don't know.
I vaguely remember it. Vaguely remember it. Also, why in Akabara Ranger does the Red Ranger look like he's got an emo haircut
Oh,
on his helmet?
Oh yeah, with
You see what I'm saying?
they're all so two of them have like Asian style hairs. Like the red one has the side spiky, like not side spike, but like comb to the side. Looks almost like a cartoon, almost emo, and then it looks like a bang coming down. And the
Yellow
girl
Ranger
has like the Chun Li type thing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's something on top of the blue one as well. But
yeah, it's like a top knot. It looks like a top knot.
Yeah.
And he's doing this with his hands. You can't see
think-
me.
Is it
but
a?
I'm putting my
but I
hand
can't
up in
tell.
my
I'm thinking that both the blue and the yellow could be girls.
Maybe.
I don't know. Didn't really watch that. All I can think of is that book series that sounds like it has a similar name.
All right. So we've got to get to this one now. It is time for the best of all
straight into the
Power
video.
Ranger knockoffs, and that is this one.
Molecula, home planet to the diabolically evil Emperor Gorganis. Gorganis has vowed to use his army of alien monsters to conquer Earth, the focal point of a system of power portals he needs to rule the universe. I am Nimbar, head protector of the power portals. To carry out my mission to stop Gorganis, I have chosen 4 teenagers from Beverly Hills. I summoned them by flashing their tattoos. Then they transform into galactic sentinels.
Scorpio! Horus! Centaur!
Apollo! The fate of the Earth depends on these tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. Tattooed teenage alien fighters. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
By the way, did they all hire the same band to write these intros? Because
wanted them to sound alike, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
now, don't get me wrong, that is a terrible, terrible intro song, but also genius because ever since I heard it, I have been singing it. Ever since I've And whenever I would
Because this
start
come
talking to
from,
him,
we should clarify, like this one started, this whole idea for this one started, actually, the show got kicked off because we were talking about knockoff Power Rangers.
right,
And this one came up and we lost our minds and we were just like laughing too much. We're like, this right here, this should have been a
yeah,
recording.
yeah,
And so, but then when some of the other things were a little more, we felt like needed to be happening at that moment. So we went ahead and
right,
did those. That's why this one is
more
here.
time sensitive.
Yeah.
But those costumes
Atrocious.
are the most terrifying thing.
I don't know. They
Okay.
could be the best.
For one,
They look more like
Why-
luchadors than the other.
why do the guys have really short unitards
Short
on?
shorts. I don't know.
Like
You would think it would be the girls.
the other way around. I mean, not saying that it should be,
No,
but just
typically during- especially during that
considering,
time.
yeah, considering like it would have made a lot more sense.
Except
it would have
for
made
Green
all
Ranger over there. She's got her whole midriff out.
yeah, but it would have made even more sense for them all to just have skin covering costumes.
Yeah, it
But
would.
their hair is out. They're not wearing helmets. They're wearing masks, but for some freaking reason,
The mouth.
they have the metal mouths that the Power Rangers have. Why? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows why in the world they need those mouth covers. But
the people playing them in their costumes cannot be the same people that are like the teenagers.
have you watched it, seen enough?
I mean, I'm just looking at the build of the blonde dude, especially.
So it's a stunt double with a blonde wig.
I mean, hold on. He's like a skinny little dude, and at least it looks like that. And
Not when he's
When-
tattooed teenage
Right.
alien fighter.
and I would say pretty much the same for the black guy too. The girls are it's kind of harder to tell, but they're not as muscular or toned as the ones that are actually fighting. So I don't know.
I need to point out that this whole TV show is based around the idea of tattoos. Yet, in the little that I've seen, there are no actual tattoos.
There are no tattoos. There's
It is
that
just
little,
it's just I don't know if like whenever you're a kid you'd get like these little toy flashlights that would have a pattern on the
you
actual
shine it.
cover and
Yep.
shine it and and it
you
would
shine on the
show-
wall, and
it'd
and
make
you
a
have to be
shape.
real close to the wall to make the shape.
Yeah. That's what those tattoos are. 100%.
Not one of them has an actual tattoo.
No.
Because if they did, the body doubles wouldn't have worked.
Whenever their tattoos light up. It's like you just shining a flashlight on their wrists, man.
Oh, it's so bad. Tattoo teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
It's so bad in the best way.
And the sad part is, Buck, I actually watched some episodes of this. I remember watching this one because it came on right when I got home from school. And the acting was horrible. The jokes were horrible. I remember somebody being like, you don't want to date. You don't want to mess with her. Her dad started his own martial arts and he calls it Kung Pao Ow. And I don't know why that stuck in my brain. But to this age, Kung Pao Ow has been stuck. It lives rent free. And I know that it was from this show.
Something about that feels a little racist. I don't know why. I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe. But something about that feels a little racist.
It only lasted one season.
Did it even make it? Before, like, I I thought this had to come on some some random far off network that I never got to experience. Did you actually see that? You saw this when you were a
I
kid?
saw it. I think it was on
Oh
like I
man.
think it was on Fox or something like that. But it was like right when I got home from school, and it would be on, and it was yeah, it was bad. And that was the only reason I watched it.
I think it's what's crazy is that somebody wrote this and was like, "Yeah, they're gonna love it." All the kids, they're gonna think this is great. What can we do? How can we somehow put BDSM in a kids show about superhero
No.
like, they'll love this.
Okay, wait. Yeah, they were portrayed. So I'm looking at it. They have the actors' names, and then they have like who performed that character in their alter ego. So like it says Laurie Foster was portrayed by Leslie Dannon, but then as Scorpio, the Scorpion, Scorpio was performed by Teresa Fall.
She fall down a lot.
FHAL. But that's and so they did pretty much the same thing for all of them. I didn't think that they could have. There was no way they didn't even look like them. The intro is what cracks me up. Well, what did he say something about? I found four teenagers from Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Beverly Hills is real important.
Why were they from Beverly
That's the place to go to get the most dedicated martial arts. I'm gonna save the world. Not gonna be selfish at all.
Well,
Kids.
in Marvel, everything attacks New York City, and
Everything
so I guess for them it was Beverly Hills.
but it's funny because Beverly Hills, like, at least growing up, Beverly Hills was always portrayed as like the richest part of California you could be in, right? Like,
Because you had like Beverly Hills 90210.
and you'd always get characters that were always portrayed as like really spoiled, really materialistic, and that kind of stuff. Maybe that was a big part of the show. Maybe it was like, oh, part of it was them realizing that they couldn't be material and focus on themselves. I don't know. I'm probably not ever going to watch this. I will just watch the trailer and listen to the song.
Because you
And
love it.
yeah, tattooed teenage.
That was one of the first times I was like, why is it about tattooed teenagers and none of them have any tattoos? The only thing was this little light shining.
Yep.
This little light of mine.
I am nimble, and I really just look like a big blob of something on a table.
Yeah.
What is he? Like, is he even speaking?
How you gonna be hip?
Is he a
without
is
the
he a
head?
magical sentient crystal or
You ask me
something?
questions I don't have answers to.
You watched it, Kung Pao Owl.
I didn't watch it regularly. It wasn't like something I loved watching. It just was. It would be on TV when I got home and would be like eating my snack in front of the TV.
I can now understand why, like, our older siblings would come in there and make fun of us for watching things like this.
Yep. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this image. Because you're sitting here talking about these masks and how bad they are and talking about BDSM and everything. And
You don't tell me you didn't think it because
well,
there's no way.
There's this. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Safe word, tattoo.
Safe word. It's her face. You don't even have to watch this video because I don't even. This might be just what we just watched, but it's her. I just need it. I'm gonna send it to you. I just need her face right here put up for everyone to see. see.
Oh, that's terrifying.
No,
That hairstyle is great.
Yeah.
It's not a wig.
At all.
It's real.
Oh, so
But also in the official not artwork, the official like poster. I'm gonna put it up right here. Official poster. Look at the way the girls are posing.
With which wait, hold on.
Like it's where the guys are kind of just standing there with like stereotypical superhero fists on their hips kind of
And then
thing.
the girls are like
And the girls are
squatting
like
with
squatting with their butts
yeah,
out.
yep.
And
I figured that was the one you're talking about, but then there's some other ones too. But yeah, it's a thing, and you're like, what were they doing to us? Why were they selling us things like this? And that's why our generation is screwed up now, and that's why so many people are into like, you know, tight
what, Jack?
pleathery spandex with masks and
Leathery spandex. Pleathery spandex was my nickname in high school. Um,
didn't get you very far.
no, I don't know. That there's much more that we can say about this.
No, that's it. That's it. Tattooed teenage alien fighter from Beverly Hills.
It doesn't get much better than that.
I mean, I like at least with the Mystic Knights of Tirtanog, like this, Mystic Knight, and it had this kind of like it was. You know what? Applaud because the song did. I mean,
And the star
was
of the
catchy
song was the bagpipes.
It was, but it was I don't know how well it did, but again, I ended up having a memory of that show, but whoever wrote this, and they surely they were just like, we need to have a song. We got to have it tomorrow. What do we do? Well, what's the name of the show? It's called the Mystic. What is it? Not the Mystic. The Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. Well, what if we just say that over and over? What if we just said, the Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills? Oh yeah, I like that. Let's put a little tune to it.
I don't think that's how this happened. I think the way that this happened was one band. This is what they did. Power Rangers. Go Power Rangers over and over and over again. And we loved it, right? So what they did was, okay, we're just going to write a million songs and maybe they'll do another show off of it. And they wrote Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. And they're like, yeah, this will go. This will absolutely work. This is a banger song. And 100%. That's what happened. It was really just propaganda to help that band take off.
It was just other companies trying to market off of the success of the Power Rangers. And they were all doing that. And I'm sure that VR Troopers did all right. Big Bad Beetleborgs did okay. But the other ones were so bad that even we were like, we're not touching that crap.
Yeah.
Like, I remember episodes of this, and I remember it sucking, and I remember like me and my dad laughing at it, but that's about it. I couldn't tell you anything else about it. But this was the 90s were a whole other time. They were their own, and there's no way to ever go back and make it the way it was. We've come too far, and there's too much. Everything's right in your hand now. For better or worse, whatever.
Yep.
But that was our generation.
Yeah. Those are your final thoughts?
What else am I going to say?
Those are my final thoughts. Well, on that note, I think this rabbit hole has been explored.
Yeah, explored.
And so yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and just listening to us just goof off about our nostalgic
Hey,
days.
we'll have more nostalgic ones down the road. Who knows what we'll talk about, but whatever strikes us.
If you don't mind, if you have made it this far, do us a favor, subscribe, and spread the word. Who doesn't want to watch a bunch of rabbits speak like
Much.
move their mouth out of sync with the actual voices that they're they're supposed to be said.
We can get better. Just give us a little time. We're trying.
All right, guys. Well, we will catch you next week, and thanks for hanging around. So,
Bye.
hey, can I stay in your burrow?
I was about to say you was going to say it to me. I love you. Get out my burrow. I love you, Buck. You can stay tonight.
Oh, thanks.
That sounded
way worse.
Way worse than that.
Sounded way worse.
Let's get out of here.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Maybe we can hit that rabbit hole when we get closer to Christmas.
Down and down the rabbit hole.